Today I'm going to show you how to raise baby rabbits without a mom, bottle raise, or even if you just need to, help supplement, maybe she had a really big litter or something. It's difficult, so we always want to try to keep them with the mom, but sometimes stuff happens and you really have to. However, if you do bottle raise, you end up with some really sweet, super tame little babies. One thing you're going to need to know if you bottle raise, especially when they're really super young, don't try to feed them if their body temperature is cold. You can put them into shock and actually kill them. That way their body can't really digest the food. Give them diarrhea, they'll have all kinds of issues. So you want to make sure you warm them up first. An easy way is to put a heating pad with a towel on top of it so it's not too hot, and put them on it and then cover them with a little towel or something. Help them to get their body temperature up before you feed them. And you'll notice that when they're warmed up, they'll start moving around a lot. They'll start scratching in the towel, wanting to nurse. So once they're ready to nurse, then you can go ahead and feed them and they'll take it much better. Alright, we're going to do a quick little video on how to bottle raise baby bunnies. There's several scenarios in which you will probably have to do this and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? And so this video I'll tell you everything that you need to do. We had an instant where the mom got injured. Well, she injured herself with 3-day-old kits. So now we have to take up the slack with 10 baby kits that need to be bottle raised. But also, if you have a mom that say has a big litter, like 12, she only has 8 nipples, 8 teats. So that means that some of them are gonna not get fed as well as the others, and the bigger ones are gonna bully the smaller ones. So if you get a big litter like that, you might want to watch. And if you have smaller ones, go ahead and bottle feed them to kind of help them, have a fighting chance. So what I find, you can use these little cat bottles that you can get like any pet store where there's cat supplies. Or some people actually use syringes without the needle part in it. And for the milk, you're going to want to use a goat milk or a goat milk formula. When you first pick them up, they usually want to scurry around, so I tend to let them kind of just scurry around a little bit and try to find the nipple on my hand, because if not, I find they just want to fight the whole time. But I let it think that it's finding. Move, Cookie. No baby rabbits for you. So get your milk started on the tip of the, see how it's just a little drips come out. You want to feed them a little drip at a time. Don't put a lot because you'll drown them and then they won't want to drink it anymore. And also watch their little nose, because the milk tends to go up into their nose and they can't breathe. And like I said, if they this is how, and when you first start to feed them on the bottle, they're not going to want to take it. And this is how I got them to take it. I just put a little drip on the tip and then put it on their mouth like that. See? And let them taste it. And do that a few times. And then eventually they'll let you start to give them the bottle. But they're only going to take a couple of drips at a time. But at first they're not going to want to take it because it's, it's not mama's milk. They're like, but when they get hungry they'll take it. But I tend to find that if I just give them a little drip on their mouth, they'll start after a while to take the whole bottle. And you see that? You saw what he just did? He put it on his nose and then he was like, oh, I can't breathe. That's why I put the towel, so that I can constantly wipe their little nose to keep it from suffocating them. And I also find that it helps too to don't just keep trying to find their mouth. Hold it still and let them come back to it. If they move away, let them come back to it. Oh yeah, clean your little face. These are probably, I think, 4 days old right now, and this is their second day on the bottle. The more they drink from the bottle, the easier they'll take it. And some of them don't mind it. I've got like 2 of them that are greedy little pigs, and they just go for it. But most of the rest are like, I don't like this. This is not my mama. What is this? But it'll keep them alive. See, just little drips at a time. When the mama first gets in the nest, they tend to get all over the place trying to find a nipple. So I'll let them search for a little bit before I give it and get it out of their system, because otherwise they just fight me the whole time. All right. Yeah. This one's a little greedy pig. He usually just takes it. She's like, I want more. Put it in my nose. Put it in my mouth. So that's basically it. All you need to know is it has to be a goat milk based formula. Oh, and they eat twice a day. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, and for most mammals it's not, but the reason for that is that the mama rabbit doesn't stay with the babies at the nest site because it attracts predators. So she'll bury them in the burrow and only come twice a day to feed them. So you only need to feed them twice a day. Just get them a real good feeding until they go to sleep or don't want any more. Usually they'll start to doze off when they're full. I usually feed them until they doze off, and then I put them back in the box. And also, you're going to need to, if you're raising them without a mom at all, you're going to need to get a warm wash rag and wipe all the sticky milk off and rub their belly and their little private parts so that they'll pee and you can clean them up, because at least for the first week of life, typically the mom has to stimulate them to use the bathroom, and that's so that she can keep the nest clean. So she'll stimulate it and then she'll lick them clean. So sometimes you have to watch, if they're really little, they need to be stimulated. If their little bellies look bloated, you get a warm wash rag and just rub on it, and they'll use the bathroom and you can clean it up. If you don't do that, sometimes they won't urinate and it make them sick. See, he's starting to get full because he's getting sleepy. He's starting to fall asleep on the nipple. And what I usually do is I'll feed them with a towel so that I can keep wiping them. And then after I feed them, I put them in the towel in my lap. And then I'll cover them up to warm. They'll stay warm and they'll go to sleep. And then I'll go to the next one. And that way I can kind of keep track of who I've fed and who I haven't. And they'll usually start to go to sleep in my lap in the middle. And so we've got 10 to go, and this is quite a process. Takes a while, so I'll be here for about an hour bottle feeding baby rabbits. Keep them warm, keep them covered. Remember, they live in a hole in the ground, so they don't mind being dark and covered all day long if there's no mama to keep them warm. What we did is we put a towel at the bottom of the box, lots of hay for them to burrow in, and then I cover the whole thing with another towel to keep any draft off, because they don't, the babies, they don't need any draft. It's okay if they're dark, it's okay if they're warm. Like I said, they live in a hole in the ground, just keep it covered. And they'll be fine. If you keep them warm and keep them fed, they'll be good.